KEX. This is Mark and Dave.
Along with Carol Wolf, she's with Bloomberg Business News, and we appreciate you joining us here, Carol. Carol's been doing research on our crumbling infrastructure all across the country as related to high-capacity bridges, and she came up with some sobering information, and that is, well, we're adults. You can break it to us, Carol.
There is a category of bridges called fracture critical, and those bridges are pretty prevalent across the United States. That fracture critical means that if one part of the bridge goes bad for whatever reason, through stress, weather, the entire bridge can collapse. And the best known of those bridges is the one that collapsed in Minneapolis in 2007.
And why are these bridges in this condition? Is it neglect?
No, it's actually a design issue. Back in the 1960s and 70s, they were trying to save money and finish the national highway system. So this is a well-used design. It's been used since the 1800s, but it was only supposed to last, these bridges were only supposed to last 50 years. Well, now we're reaching the 50-year mark, and they still sit there, which makes their inherent design dangerous.
And there's a bridge in Portland, Oregon we drive over frequently here. It's the Fremont Bridge.
If it's a fracture-critical bridge, they have to be inspected rigorously, and a hands-on approach where they literally get up and look for eighth of an inch cracks. And those cracks could come from anything from weather, the way it was welded back in the 1960s. They did not have great welding techniques. Sometimes a barge or something may hit into a bridge, and that caused some structural damage. So mostly it's age, just like the baby boomers their bodies are starting to break down a bit. These are baby boomer bridges. And
it takes a lot of money for these inspections. It's not necessarily cost effective, is it?
Since they are hands-on and it's difficult to get to all parts of the bridge, you may need a boat, a cherry picker, cranes, anything that can get the workers or the inspectors right into the different parts of the bridge, which if you take a look at any given bridge, it's difficult to get to. So they have to, it costs a lot more to get in there, and you have to go over every inch of it because any little problem can cause the bridge to come down. And when they find problems like that, they generally shut them right away. Bear in mind that these bridges have performed very, very well over the last 50 years. Mm-hmm. It's just that they're getting old.
And inspection alone can cost $100,000.
Oh yeah, they can easily go into $100,000. You have to have specialized engineers who know how to look for fracture critical. And like I said, if it's a long bridge, you have to go over every inch of it.
Well, we don't want to worry anyone, but most states, including Oregon, we've got money problems. Are these inspections being neglected?
Most state departments of transportation know how the dangerous parts of these bridges, they know that this is a dangerous design, and they really stay up on it. If they have to choose between a non-fracture critical bridge and a fracture critical bridge, they're going to inspect the fracture critical bridge first if they only have so much in money. I would say that just because the general public is learning about fracture critical bridges does not mean the engineering community has not known about them for a long time, and just tons and tons of research on how to keep them going and keep them safe.
Is there a point where it just is more cost effective to replace it?
We have looked at the Tappan Zee Bridge where they in New York, which is right off of New York City, and they spend about $100 million a year, give or take, to repair that bridge to keep it safe. And after a while, $100 million a year, you might as well build a new bridge.
All right, Carol Wolf, very interesting. We appreciate it. I probably think of you now every time I